Riyad Mahrez, this is the biggest moment of your career for City. Hit the target. Alisson knows nothing about you. Come on.
So apparently filming yourself is the new thing at football games these days, because who doesn't want to look up someone's nose for 90 minutes? To be fair, it's probably still more interesting than anything on the Zoella channel. Now welcome to HITC Sport. Now let's take a look at what's happened in the Premier League. And yes, for today, my camera battery is broken, so I'm having to do this on a phone. And I think we all remember the last time a YouTuber used a phone and an ironing board to do a video.
You're a fucking disgrace, Niall Ranger. You are a fucking disgrace.
What a guy. By the way, if you want to follow me on social media, links are right down below, so work away. But anyway, let's crack on with the video. So Khabib wasn't the only one looking for revenge for bus attacks this weekend, with Man City travelling to Anfield less than 6 months after that Champions League game. They dealt with the Reds a bit better this time out. Unlike in April, when they essentially shat their pants at the mere sight of Liverpool's front three. Can't say the same for Mcgregor though, whose trachea was squeezed so tightly, he's probably going to sound like Donald Duck for the next 10 days. By the way, what was the post-match brawl all about? Jesus Christ. Khabib is probably going to be suspended and stripped of his belt. That is absolute self-sabotage. Anyway, here is the man who ruined his career in Vegas, posing with Khabib. Just kidding, of course. I was talking about Ronaldo's poor choice of hat that he wore in Vegas at one time. Or so my lawyers have instructed me. Lawyers, I can barely afford socks. The Liverpool-Man City game was billed as a clash of the titans between the two best teams in the country. But as is so often the case, it did not live up to its billing. And in the case of the fight, everyone got up at 5 AM to watch a silent monster grapple on the floor with a cocky Irishman for 4 rounds. Lads, if I wanted to watch a Russian sit on someone for 20 minutes, I'd have looked up some very different things on the internet. A point apiece, it doesn't really say much about either side, other than the fact that Riyad Mahrez should never take a penalty again in his entire life.
Jose Mourinho set to be sacked whatever Manchester United's result versus Newcastle.
Well, he's still there. This story broke on Friday night, and Gary Neville called the club rotten to the core. So here's the thing, have they decided against sacking him purely because this failure to keep the story in-house would have seen them rightly widely condemned, just like with David Moyes 4 years ago? Maybe. I mean, to be honest, Mourinho has done himself no favours this season, but I still think he's got a lot of disrespect. Do not forget what this man has won. When he took over Man United, they were 4th. If you told him that in 2.5 years he'd win the League Cup, Europa League, reach an FA Cup final, beat Man City at the Etihad and finished 2nd to a team who got over 100 points, they'd have probably taken that. They wouldn't have taken being 2-0 down at home to Newcastle though, that was a farce. Kennedy and Muto with the goals, Christ above what was happening there. It could have been 3-0, should have been a penalty. The United team looked shell-shocked, they couldn't string 2 passes together. I'd love to have been a fly on the wall in that United dressing room, because Mourinho must have roared 7 shades of shite into his players. Christ, the pressure he was under, the man must have got personal. He must have been going deep, really below the belt stuff about their personal lives, mostly directed at Luke Shaw, let's be honest. I think we can all agree he's been his emotional punching bag for the last 2 years, but it worked. I mean, half the team probably went home and cried after the game, but on the pitch it definitely worked. Juan Mata, who had come on after 50 minutes for Eric Bailly, whose confidence is probably in the same place as my career, curled home a free kick. The Spaniard said that because he'd been in a hot streak in training, he'd actually stopped practicing free kicks in preparation for this one.
Does this mean if I stop sticking my dick in a hoover, I'll suddenly be a sexual god?
No, it just means it'll no longer feel like World War III whenever you go to take a piss. Anthony Martial then pissed in the Geordie's cornflakes before Alexis Sanchez, a man whose highlight at Old Trafford had been in front of a goddamn piano, popped up with the last minute winner. Job saved for Jose, says Fabregas.
I feel sensations under Sarri that I never thought I would feel again.
Jesus Christ, I don't know what those two get up to in the locker room when the lights go out, because it's a funny way to talk about a man who hasn't given you a single minute of Premier League football this season. It's going well for Chelsea though, a 3-0 win over Southampton, with goals from Eden Hazard, Ross Barkley and Alvaro Morata. It's good to see Barkley doing well. It has not been a good 2 years for him. Injuries, drop from the national team, become a pariah in his hometown. Don't worry Ross, they'll probably re-sign you in about 10 years when your cholesterol is the size of Yorkshire. Had his granddad compared to a gorilla. It's not been a great time for him. Speaking of Chelsea, John Terry is retired. Probably out having spent the last few months of his career just roughing his hand around the job centre looking for offers from Russia and Portugal. That's like former pin-up model Kerry Katona spending her Saturday evenings grinding off students down the local pub. That's a joke, by the way, alright? I'm sure Kerry's enjoying a very dignified motherhood. Oh, no, my mistake. The tributes have been pouring in for Terry from former teammates, not from Wayne for obvious reasons. Fellow slip enthusiast Stevie G piped up, using a photo of them that honest to God looks like they're both trying to squeeze out an almighty shit.
Congratulations on great career, JT. It was a pleasure to play alongside you in an England shirt, and thank you for all the amazing battles over the years at club level. Good luck with your future plans. P.S. Sort the facials out.
guys, it's Leslie Vega.
To be honest, with all these tributes poured in from ex-players, I, for one, would like to hear from Craig Bellamy.
You know, I know what JT's like, and nothing surprises me about it, so I'm not going to comment on that guy. I think everyone in football knows what the guy's like, so, you know, that's off the field.
Who seems to be making a habit of cozying up to former enemies of his lately? Are we just supposed to pretend like these two weren't trying to beat 7 shades of shite out of each other 14 years ago? What next? Eminem and MGK grabbing a Starbucks in 10 years, is it?
We got our Arsenal back blood. The football is back blood, you understand? Back again.
Fast forward 2 weeks in, Arsenal lose at home to Leicester City, with Danny Welbeck missing about 4 sitters. The Gunners smash Fulham though, ferociously carving them apart like a butcher on crystal meth. Lacazette and Aubameyang both scored 2. I have them both in my fantasy league team, so get in, my son. And Aaron Ramsey scored the other, capping a move that wouldn't look out of place on Pornhub. You've got to feel for Arsene Wenger though, as he sits at home watching his fans chant that they finally got their club back. That's like your wife of 20 years dumping you in the summer, going on a few dates with some Spanish fella, and then broadcasting to the nation that, oh, she's got her life back, while you spend your days crying into a pillow and being forced to make awkward small talk to the man who clearly hates you.
I can't stand the guy. Fuck his legacy. Fuck what he's done for the club in the first few years.
Wolves beat Crystal Palace 1-0 thanks to a goal from Matt Doherty, who has now become the 4th Irishman to ever win the Premier League Player of the Month. As for Palace, every week I wonder why Wilfred Zaha is still at that club. Did his time at Man United just emotionally scarred him from ever leaving East Croydon ever again? Wilf, it's okay. David Moyes is gone now. You can come out of hiding, alright? He's gone. He's not coming back.
There were rumours that the reason I wasn't playing for United was because I slept with David Moyes' daughter, and no one at the club attempted to clear that up.
Like, what do you expect him to do? Issue a club statement?
Our new signing, Wilfred Zaha, has not been slinging his peen up the front bum of the manager's daughter.
And what if he has? Then they'd look alright, mug. Watford for the Champions League, right? No, none of that, so settle down. Troy Deeney might have stopped knocking back Jaeger bombs this season, and Andre Gray might have remembered what a goal looks like. But it looks like they've fallen back into old habits. 4-0 loss at home to Bournemouth, and yeah, it looks like I'm going to win my bet that Javi Gracia is going to get sacked before Christmas. I mean, I'm still sticking to that. For a second, can I just state the obvious and say what a great job Eddie Howe has done at Bournemouth. Like, I'll admit, I thought he was a flash in the pan. I thought he's, you know, another Paul Jewell, Roberto Martinez. I was thinking, just come on, he's going to get relegated any minute now. No, they're 6th. When he took over, they were minus 17 points in League 2. Tottenham beat Cardiff 1-0 in a mind-numbingly boring game with Eric Dyer smacking home the winner. You know the tragic thing is, there is less teeth in that man's head than Cardiff have points all season. Everton beat Leicester, and what a goal from Gylfi Sigurdsson. I know the fella started slowly at the club, Jesus Christ, what a goal. Burnley and Huddersfield played out a fairly boring 1-1 draw, and Brighton got the better of West Ham. On Friday night, they'd only won 2 of their previous 16 home games, both against Man United. So what else happened in the rest of the footballing world? Aston Villa want a new manager after Steve Bruce got sacked. What a way to go, huh? Having a cabbage launched off your head. Christ above, lads, you could have at least chucked a bag of Doritos at him, or, you know, a plate of lasagna. I swear to God, if Thierry Henry ends up with that club, at the same place that Jack Grealish is at, I'm just glad I'm not an Aston Villa fan, otherwise that would just be another reason for me to jump off a cliff. As Julian Lopetegui ruined his career, 4 months ago he was about to lead his country out of the World Cup, in what would have been the proudest moment of his career. And then he got greedy, and tried to sneak off to Real Madrid without telling anyone. So that didn't happen. And now he's at Real Madrid, who are slowly starting to realise that, yeah, if you sell someone who scores 50 goals a season, it's going to be difficult. They've now gone 4 games without scoring, which in Real Madrid world is like the end of the world. And Mourinho is getting linked with a return to that club. That makes about as much sense as Jake Paul's career. I have to mention Paul Pogba, I mean everyone else does. He gets a hard time for being a social media addict, alright? But Christ, he's not even no worse than the French team. Benjamin Mendy seems like a man who'd go onto Twitter withdrawals if someone took his phone for a week. And Antoine Griezmann, he created an entire documentary to tell the world whether he was staying at Atletico Madrid or not. And also thought this was an appropriate Halloween costume. Well, he was back at it, filming his reaction in a creative way to finding out what gender his unborn child was going to be. Christ above, if that was Berahino, he'd still be trying to hit the damn thing 4 months after the kid was born. Anyway, that's the end of the video, lads. I hope it turned out alright. This is the first time filming with a phone. Hopefully the last. I'm gonna get this camera thing fixed, but I had to get this video out soon. If you have enjoyed it, and it hasn't turned out to be a complete farce, then drop a like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.